Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I've done a movie review, but I did ask you guys on Twitter whether you wanted me to do a review for Justice League, and you said yes, so why not jump on the bandwagon like everybody else? So as you may or may not know, I have actually seen Justice League twice. I saw it on opening day on Thursday, and I also saw it with my wife yesterday afternoon. So I really feel like I can give you my clear thoughts because I've seen it more than once and I've had a chance to sort of digest the whole thing. Now I'm just going to say right off the bat that I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. And that is a stark contrast to when I saw Batman v Superman. I left the theater when I saw that and thought, well, that was depressing and boring. So to me, Justice League was a massive step in the right direction. Now, I will acknowledge once again that it does have problems, and let's just address some of those. Now, this is going to be kind of spoilerish, guys, so I don't really feel like doing a spoiler-free review, and I'm not going to then jump on the bandwagon and then do a spoiler review. So if you don't want Justice League spoiled for you, just jump off this video right now. I won't be offended. So one of the biggest issues with Justice League is its runtime. It's only 2 hours long, and if you're watching it and you feel like this movie has bits that are missing out of it, you're totally right, because it really does feel that way sometimes. The movie should have been 2.5, maybe even 3 hours long. Now I know there was no chance that Warner Bros. Were ever going to put a 3-hour movie out because they want to make that, you know. But at least a 2.5-hour movie would have actually given us enough time to digest some of these scenes and maybe just slow down the movie just a little bit, because this thing does move at a pretty breakneck pace. We jump from scene to scene to scene to scene to scene really quickly, but unlike say Batman v Superman, those scenes are actually exciting. Now, one of the bigger issues that I found as a VFX person, or someone who actually notices good and bad VFX, is some of the reshoots are really quite obvious. Like, for example, when Bruce Wayne and Barry Allen are first meeting in Barry's, I don't know, lair, whatever they call it, they're having this conversation back and forth after Barry catches the Batarang, and then Barry starts talking about brunch. And it's actually quite obvious that this has been reshot because it looks just slightly off. It doesn't look bad, it just looks slightly off. And that's sort of par for the course with a lot of these shots. You'll just see an insert that comes in every now and then, and you're just like, it doesn't quite look right to me. Now, it doesn't look bad per se, but you can kind of tell that that wasn't shot on that location, and it was just shot on a green screen afterwards. And it's not bad, really, like really bad. Like, you can't see a big green line around them or anything like that, but it just looks slightly off. And it's just your brain's way of saying, well, I don't think that was shot there. So that's something that does sort of stick out in your mind, but does it ruin the movie? No. There's actually a lot of talk going back and forth about the CGI mustache removal of Henry Cavill, but I honestly think that there was only one shot where they've done that, and it was the opening shot of the movie that was sort of that cell phone footage. Because in both times that I watched this movie, I was front row center, and I was looking at that face and that mustache that second time, and honestly the only shot where it looked really off was that opening shot. But once again, it doesn't ruin the movie, it just looks a little bit weird. The last sort of negative thing I want to say is that sometimes the color correction doesn't quite work for the costumes. Mainly just Batman and Superman. In some shots, Batman's outfit looks really weird because it comes across as really shiny and bright, and it just looks like a dude wearing a really weird rubber outfit. And it's the same thing with Superman. In the very first shot, you'll actually see it. He's got these weird sort of muscular points on his suit, and they show up really weird when it's quite bright and colourful. And it's something we didn't see in Batman v Superman or Man of Steel, so whether they've redesigned the suit, I don't know, but it just stands out as kind of weird. Now, let's get on to the good. Ezra Miller as Barry Allen and the Flash. That guy was absolute gold in this movie. I was a doubter going in, honestly. It wasn't about him, of course. I didn't like the Flash outfit, and I wasn't the biggest fan of them not using the yellow lightning in that, but I honestly got over that very quickly because he's fantastic here. And the flash effects, they really work. Like, I thought they would be kind of stupid, but they actually really work for this movie, and the Speed Force really looks kind of cool. I mean, he's a bit goofy when he runs, but I don't know, that's maybe just some sort of artistic choice, or the fact that he's just sort of starting out when Justice League starts up. Cyborg's the one that probably gets the most amount of character development in the movie, and I think that they did a really good job with him. Sometimes the CGI is a bit iffy, but I think that's really based on, the environment he's in. Sometimes it's a full CG environment where they're just on a green screen, and I think that hurts his character more than anything. But overall, I think he's really good. Now, we don't really have to say anything about Wonder Woman. She was good in Batman v Superman when she was on the screen. She was fantastic in Wonder Woman, and she's equally good here. Her opening scene is friggin' awesome, as is the big action scene on Themyscira. And Jason Momoa as Aquaman is pretty damn good. I like the scenes that were underwater and all that sort of stuff, but he isn't given as much screen time as the other guys. But that's probably just what happens when you cut a probably 2.5 hour movie down to 2 hours. Someone is going to lose some screen time. Now let's move on to Henry Cavill, aka Superman. This is the best Superman has ever been in any of these movies, including Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, whatever. He's actually Superman. He smiles. That's insane. He's not just going the whole time looking like he's about to fart. You can actually tell that the actor was having fun with this. And that's great because Superman is a fun, bright character. And Justice League actually gives him a chance to shine for a change. And Henry Cavill takes full opportunity of that. And last but not least, Ben Affleck is still great as Bruce Wayne / Batman. That goes without saying. The dude is awesome. I'm not the biggest fan of the new suit that they gave him, but at least not bat nipples, So overall, I think you're going to get people that love this movie, I think you're going to get people that hate this movie, and I think you're going to get a hell of a lot of people that are middle of the road and say that was either good or pretty good. And I'm in that boat. I think it was a pretty good movie. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and it has some problems. But I enjoyed myself. I left the theater with a smile on my face, which is a hell of a lot different to when I saw Batman v Superman.
Now, one thing I hear a lot of reviewers saying is that they thought that the villain Steppenwolf was kind of a weak villain, and that the story was a bit meh. Now, while I agree with these points, I think it was done sort of by design. Having a villain that's just sort of one note and just there to complete this one task, to collect the boxes and then he can take over the world, essentially makes him the MacGuffin of this movie. He's basically just put in place to give the Justice League a reason to come together. So the story being bare bones is just also another platform to make the characters stand out and shine. So in essence, the movie isn't about them defeating the villain. The movie is about the characters themselves. And I thought the way they interacted together was pretty good. I thought they had pretty good chemistry together. But that's just my interpretation.
Will I see it again in theaters? No, I've seen it twice now. I don't need to see it again. But when the Blu-ray does come out, and hopefully it has like an ultimate edition with plenty of those scenes restored, I think it'll be a much better movie. But we'll have to wait and see. So guys, I'm going to get back to the computer and make some more tutorials. I've got a Batman voice effect coming up. I've also got some more Justice League Flash stuff coming up, as well as some Wonder Woman things. I've got some stuff over there. I don't know why I'm looking there. You can't see it. But until that happens, guys, please smash that like button. If you are new here, hit subscribe, or check out my social media crap above my head, or maybe some videos that I've got here in the recommended section. But until I see you again, keep learning.